Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's TGIM after basically a 4-day weekend. And, from the United States side of things, we did open the markets up a little bit on Friday, but we don't trust most of that stuff. I do trust the charts on currencies, especially spot. But after that, it's all sloppiness. Kind of interesting to see the gold try to lift up again. And here we are. Our beta platform has been showing us that gold wants to kind of pull back. We're real surprised about that because it's been like 16 out of 17 products now. The beta is right. So we'll see. It's going to be the horse race of them all. We are in daily buys, but we're in weekly sells over on the beta. So we'll just keep an eye on that. There's the dollar index. You can see all that red. Oh, let's see the chat line too. Where's that chat line? There's the chat line. We've been going in and looking to see on recordings if anybody's been asking questions inside the recording. But so far, nothing. It's been a little surprising there that I thought for sure that someone would ask a question in the recording, after watching or as they're watching, if they would text, and say something like, what about the next time you're on, can you talk about this or talk about that? We're glad to, basically answer questions even through the recording system itself. But don't see anything. I look and double check, but nothing so far. So that's not too bad in the sense of, I guess I'm satisfying whoever needs to be satisfying. All right, now let's see our chat line now. And who do we see out there this morning? I don't see anybody. So Monday morning is slowing everybody down today. Indeed. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so we're looking at dollar index. We got that up on J4X. We can see it up on the beta. And on the beta, you can see right here, we're going into the sell. We've been in the buy for these 2 days right here. On the J4X, you can see they tried to do the same thing. We're in buys for a few days there, or at least trying, if nothing else. And then you can see right here, the Mountain West top. You can see it just kind of marching down, trying to push into the sell from the Friday noise. That is right there. That's today. There's the Robin. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
I'm all right. You?
Oh, no complaints.
Okay, I've got a couple of problem guys that want trials. Of course, they're...
We are in the middle of the webinar.
Oh, it just started. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I was trying to call you earlier.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see the call.
Oh, I called a few times. Not a problem.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Okay, we'll talk later.
all right, bye-bye. Oh, that was Robin out in Chicago. He's got some issues about something. I see it. Call me. Okay. After webinar. There we are. There we go. After webinar. Boom. So, we're looking at the dollar index. The dollar index is not really screaming anything. That's the curious thing. It's a... Oh, there you go. I see the 716. I do see it now. Didn't hear it, but I see it. Interesting. All right. So, the dollar, interest rates. Let's put the bond up there too, the 30-year bond, right there. There's the 30-year bond. You can see it pushed into a sell on Friday. And like I said, I'm not the big, I don't try not to take too serious the action there. It is pushed into a sell. It's kind of sloppy at the moment. I guess you could say it's come sideways. It was nice, it did a nice move there on the buy from here. It just ran all the way up for most of, for like 3 weeks. Then it kind of stalled out, and then we jumped back into a buy again, but didn't really gain much out of it. And then we're in the weekly buy. This is a third going on a fourth week there. And let's see, do we have it on beta? We should have it on beta. Let's see, it must be way up top there. Bonds. Bonds. Let's just put that on there too. Let me go find it. because the 30-year bond is a fascinating signal. It gives a very clear, clean signal that that what the bond market is thinking. The curve is kind of odd. In other words, you look at like 10-year and then you look at like 7-year and so forth. But when you really look at 30-year bonds, let's see, there is 30-year U.S. bonds. That's it, U.S. bonds. Let's see what that does. The Treasury. There's weekly bills. They want to give us all kinds of ETFs, futures. Let me do that again. So, bond, future. Let's see what that does. ZBF. That's what it must be. ZBF. 20-year. Let's just double check that. And it just says, where's it trading now? 115. Yep, that's it. That must be it. It's at 115. This is at 114.23 right now in the futures. This must be the 30-year bond. So let's put that in ZBF. That's what that is. ZBF. I could have sworn I had that in there at one point. I found that to be, let's see, add. There. ZBF. Shift. ZB equals F. There we are. Just double check it. Yeah, looks good to me. Looking good to me. Save. There we go. And we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. Now let's put it up on the old screen here. Let's see what it's trying to tell us. Let's say let's go home. And then we go down to there. And give it a refresh. There it is right there. ZBF. And you can see there, same thing. Pressure, but from a higher point. That's interesting. And you can see it there, and that's today. And you can see we've been in that weekly buy for, is that a plus or a minus? I think that's a minus. That's a minus. So this is showing 3 full weeks going on a 4th week. So it's matching up very nicely. Okay, way to go. All right, now let's get back to the dollar index. And so what we're seeing is we're seeing interest rates kind of stalled out. And because we're seeing the interest rates not able to go up or down at this point in any real meaningful way, we're seeing that the dollar index itself is kind of just cruising along. It's cruising along on a slow, steady burn, because I saw a headline, because money is anticipating interest rate changes. Saw a headline today. It was interesting. It said something about the anticipation of the first interest rate cut. That's what it was. It was showing where we can see at times. Matter of fact, I should try to let me see if I can find that article. I thought that was interesting. They were trying to speculate, and I didn't have enough time to read it this morning, and I wish I had now. Kind of surprised that I didn't stay with it. There were so many interesting articles this morning after the weekend. What's that one? There's a new one that just popped up a few minutes ago. How about that? Despite the growing popularity of soft landing narrative, the current scenario presents a multitude of macro factors forewarning a major recession. Okay, 64 banks, branches. Okay, no. Branches to file to shut down a single week. Are you affected? Huh. Interesting. Big banks such as PNC and JP Morgan have filed to close several branch offices in multiple states amid a troubling pattern of rising branch shutdowns in recent years. Wow. Yowzer. I guess you just can't shut down a branch office out of clear blue. So, I mean, the interest rates, the banking system, it's all, just all choppy. And the confidence level. Now, at the same time, when looking at the confidence level, we have a massive weak last week when it came to the commercial or retail buying by the public. So just as you're like thinking, well, things are getting ugly, they're not, and it keeps on. We keep on rolling in that situation. It just doesn't seem to stop either. See, 28 remarkable facts about the market and the economy. No. Dangerous dive. I want to see that article about that because I think I'll find it and I will show it to you tomorrow because I find it fascinating that they're trying to figure out, when the first interest rate cut comes around the corner. And like I said, I really wish I had stayed with that article because it says a lot about where the heads are of the bond market itself, and that's what we're trying to because bond markets bond markets are fascinating when it comes to the whole combination of how the markets function because it's not a listed market except for in the futures. So the bond market, which is the largest market in the world, is an over-the-counter market. And I know some people are probably saying, what's the difference between over-the-counter and listed? Well, listed, there's more responsible people that hold to the bid and offer. So when you go to buy something, it's actually there. And then when you don't, then it's not there. That's what a over-the-counter market. There's nothing holding. So in other words, the Federal Reserve has a hard time dealing with the bond traders. They don't have a Commodities Futures Trading Commission or a Securities Exchange Commission overseeing it because they're that powerful that the government can't even touch influencing them. And that's where we're at. Hedge funds quietly dumping tech stocks amid record buybacks in retail. Okay, retires. I'm still looking for that article. Interesting, but don't see it. We'll have to hunt that down because I should have gone after that article because it's an important factor when we really go and look at the the dollar index and currencies. It's very important to understand how to relative to the what do they call it, relative to the fundamentals. Interesting. So that is really the whole shebang of it all. All right, we'll find that article tomorrow. I'm going to hunt around for it because I think there might be some little tidbits in there, some type of factors that may make a lot of sense about how they're going to follow the bond market, and then we can try to read off of that with our mathematics at the same time. All right, now from there we slide over to the euro. Let's take a look at the euro against the dollar right there to see 6EF. That is, and you can see it's marching up and away, and it is that is the futures contract. Now let's put the spot up on the screen. We'll put it up on J4X. There we go. And let's see, right there. Let's put it up on J4X there. There it is right there. See the last couple of days pushing up. You see the fast is at 72.5. The slow is at 61.5. There's strength in there. Green hinkies, pressure. You go over to here. You've got 2 days in a buy here. Let's double check it there. Now that's Friday and today. And let's see. It went into the sell for 2 days. Let me just grab one of these, put one of these reds in there. Where's the red at? Red wine. Yeah, so we went into a sell there. And, cancel. And then let's grab a green further over. Like that. We'll grab that green. And it went into the buy right there. And then let's go back to the beta. And the beta, it's interesting. Did it make it in there? I don't think it's so hard to tell. Let's see. Let's go like this. There we go. And we'll see. Nope, it did not. It missed it. Look at that. Just by the hair of its chinny chin chin. Even with that nice little spike up. So 2 days in a sell there. And the pressure has been joining in. Obviously, the weekly has no problem at all. It's like weeks upon weeks in a weekly buy when it comes to the beta. It has like 10 weeks in a weekly buy right there. Whereas over on the J4X, we are just, what's that? It's like the fast made it into the buy, but the slow did not. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going on a 6th week. The slow is, we're going into a 5th week. But on the beta, we have been 10 weeks in a buy right there. Interesting. All right. And so that's the push we're seeing. And it doesn't seem to be, as I said, they're not moving away from that. What else is the other one? Let's go over to the cable. See what the cable's up to this morning. I'll throw that up on J4X right there. That same thing. That thing's been rolling for a while in the buy. Didn't go into that couple-day sell like the way the euro did. Now let's go find that. That is, what is it? That is, that's the bond there, isn't it? ZBF. I think that's it. Yeah, that is the bond. Okay, yeah. So I knew we had one up there, and now we have a second one. We'll have to get rid of one of those ZBF. There. Yeah, I thought we had one. It's right underneath the dollar index. Interesting. All right, now let's take a look at the cable. That'd be 6B. 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 Right, there's 6E. There is 6C. That's Canadian. There is 6B right there. There's 6B. And you can see that thing's been marching in the buy. There's 5 days there. It did slide in. The beta did slide into it. And the weekly is holding on for almost 10 weeks in a buy at this point. 10 full weeks. It didn't fall into the sell here. So this, slink down, I guess you could call it, did not feel it. Did not feel it. There it is. There it is right there. We had a green and a red there, and it kept it in the buy. So that's 4. That's 8. This is 10 days now in the daily buy. Weekly buy, it's been in a weekly buy for 4 full weeks, going on a 5th week starting this week. Whereas on the beta, we went into the buy right here where that circle is right there. We went to that. Oh, you can't see that. Let's do that right there. Right there. We went to the buy right there. 10 weeks back, we went to the weekly buy. So you could take that trade, and that trade was a loser. You take that trade, it's a small winner. Take that trade, it's a big winner. Take that trade, bigger winner. So that's the pressure on it there. All right, now from the cable, we march over to the Swiss. Let's see what the Swiss is up to. Last I looked on over the weekend, it was just still sliding down. Just soft, not hard and aggressive, just sliding down. Just pushing down like that. Let's see. Let's look at it over here. Looks bigger here, doesn't it? Looks like a real slam down. And let's see. Right there. And right there. And you see that it's a slow, steady. Yeah, I guess that's the biggie right there. We went into the sell on that day, such a slam down. We've been in a weekly sell since back in here, so you couldn't buy this one. You just could not be shorted. That's all. And same thing here. It went into a buy here. You're not long it because we're in weekly sells here. So it kept you safe. You just didn't make as much money. That's all. And that's a lot better than being beat up and lose capital and so forth. Righty. From there, we slide over to, where do we go over there? We go to Mr. and Mrs. Yen. And all the little yens right there. And you can see we went to a buy here, just right there on Thanksgiving itself, and then stayed there, and now it's trying to get back into the sell again. And we're in the weekly sell. It did close in a weekly sell last week. It's been a long time coming. It's been pressing and pressing and pressing. As you can see there, it's been in a weekly buy since the beginning of August. We finally get into a weekly sell on the edge of December. Wow. 5 months? All of August and September, October, and almost all of November. So almost good 4 solid months. Now we'll see how long that goes on for, if they finally calm down, or, all these things are going on with the Bank of Japan, and, the finance ministry of Japan, and, out of the parliament, and, just a lot of issues going on there. We are seeing, let's put the Nikkei up, because it's an interesting way of looking at it, and that is the Nikkei is heading for, and that's Nike. Let's go Nikkei. There's the Nikkei right there. And you can see Nikkei trading in 33,000, almost 34,000. The all-time high is 39,000. It has not been there since 1994. 1994. So you're looking at, was that 6? That's almost 30 years it's been, and it has lost at times as much as 85% of its value. 85%. We saw the Nikkei down in the 8 and 8,000 area, coming down from 39,000. Wow, I mean half would have been 18,000. And a quarter of it, you divide it by 4, would have been basically was it 12 and 18,000. So at 20,000, the Nikkei at 20,000. It was that's 50%, and then you divide 4 into that. That's 30,000 basically. So down in the 10 is down 75%, and then the product fell down into the 7,000 area. So, I mean, you're talking about in the 80 some odd percentile, 83%. It took such a smash. Now the currency also fell from 1.5 area down to like 85. It lost 50% of its value. So it's, you can see that part of it was currency translation, but most of it was they were overvalued. And now, even after all these years, almost 40 years, it's still, 6,000 points away from the all-time high, even with currencies, coming all the way back up. Yowzer, yowzer, yowzer. That's what I say. All right, and then from there, we go to the Great Experiment. That's what I call it. The Great Experiment, the Turkish lira. You can see they gave it a spike on the Thanksgiving, and they pushed it up to the 30. Where's the high at? 32.22. We keep on thinking it wants to land itself in that 32.5 to 33 and a quarter area, something like that. You see, we closed at another all-time high on Friday at 31.68, and today we're at 30. No, it's not 68. It is 60 even. 31.60. So today we're at another all-time high, as you can see right there. It's trading at 31.67. Another, if it closed here, it would be another all-time high again. The Great Experiment. We're watching a currency in an industrialized world. A country that's an industrialized nation just take their currency and lose 90 some odd percent of its value, 95, 96% of its value, 99% of its value, 99% of its value. It's gone from 1 and change to 31 and change. Yow. So it's very rare to see an industrialized nation have their currency collapse like that. All right, so we call that the Great Experiment because obviously they've got some plan in their head over there in Turkey how to run the economy that is going to be beneficial for everybody, or for the country itself, somewhere down the line. From there, we go over to the brick, the South African rand. Let's see what the rand looks like this morning. And let's see, where is it at? Right there. We'll put it up on J4X. And there it is right there. ZAR. You can see it's been marching up. A little pressure there on, that was the Thanksgiving right there. No, that's Thanksgiving right there. And then next day it was marching up. And then today they're showing a little weakness in there. A little pressure. But, you know, as it's rising, we have not, and I repeat, we have not seen gold dip. And we're curious about that because of the situation with the, you know, the beta platform trying to tell us that they want to sell it, not buy it, which makes me deeply concerned, you know, to see that go on. And at the same time, there it is. You can see it jumped up again on, what was that? That was like the 20th or 21st, and then a couple of days of dead trading, and then boom, a little bit of strength again today. You can see we've been in a daily buy there for 3, 6. This is the 8th day in a daily buy. The beta has gone into the weekly sell last week, 2 weeks ago now. That's 2 weeks. We'll see what they do when this thing updates this afternoon at the close, and we'll start to get the flavor of what the weekly is doing. And so we go over to here. There is the that's the 30-year. Let's put the bond, the gold in there. And there's gold. You see, it did that same thing. It popped up and then went down and then sideways for the 24th. There is Thanksgiving, the 23rd, and day before Thanksgiving they ripped it. Now they're doing some strength in there again. You can see all that buying right there, and the weekly is not backing off like the way it is on the beta, which makes me definitely concerned. Not sure what that's all about, but we will keep a good eye on it, and at least the daily is keeping us from being short. That's for sure. Now let's go take a look at silver. You know, because we watched the South African rand and silver, and you can see silver the last couple of days. There's Friday, there's today. It's taken out the high. Maybe it'll get to the 25. You can see daily wise. You know, where's that mouse at? Can you see that? No, there we go. It's right there. There's the mouse. You see the daily. You know, we're looking at, there's 6 days. This is the 9th day in a daily buy. We're still in the weekly buy. It also does not seem to want to surrender to the South African rand. So, you know, it could be literally just as simple as, you know, end of year and the buying that's needed for the jewelry that people buy for the holidays. So, and then here's copper. You know, this is the Chinese indicator of the economy there. And that's been in a daily buy for, there's 4 days right there, and then there's 8 days right there, and this is the 10th day in a buy, and it's 2 full weeks in a buy going on a 3rd week. Let's save that. Let's see, where do we go like that? I go like this. And we'll save that one. And that is the copper. And let's find it on the beta too. Let's put it up on the beta. HG. Where are you? NG. HG. There it is right there. Let's show you the beta. Same thing with lots of buys going on in 3 weeks right there in a buy. And was that 3? That's 6. That's 8 days in a buy. Definitely just marching along in the right direction, that's for sure. Then from there we go over and look at platinum, which we kind of usually think of as the canary in the coal mine. Not necessarily price-wise, but what it does is it when it's in a weekly buy, and you know the rest of the The other currencies are not. Not currencies. The metals are not. Usually they find a way to go, which is very impressive. But not this time. It seems like. Oh yeah, this time it's still doing the same thing. But see, it's holding up in the buy there. And oh no, you can't see that. Let's do that right there, like that. You can see it's holding up in the weekly buy there for 3 weeks. This is the third week now, and you can see daily wise, it's been in a daily buy for 8 days now. So that does have me, looking at that and saying, "Ooh, interesting." It's not letting go. That's for sure. The platinum is not letting go, and that's the only thing. I mean, not only are we confused by looking at it on the beta, where it's the gold is in a weekly sell. Boy, imagine if gold goes into a weekly buy. Are they going to just scream? Is it going to go flying? It would make sense to me. Now let's get the beta up there and the platinum right there. Here we go. And there's the beta. You can see the same as our action there. So it's in a buy 4 days. That's 8 days. This is the 9th day in a buy, and you can see it's trying to go into the sell. The weekly is 3 solid weeks in a buy, and this is the 4th week we'll be seeing on there. It's not reflecting today yet. So that's 3 weeks in the weekly buy on going on a 4th, and the platinum on the old platform is 3 weeks, 2 weeks in a buy going on a 3rd. So alrighty, from there, we march over to the energy sector. Let's see what's going on with the energy sector. Energies. So there's let's put that up on. Let's go to this first. We go. This is West Texas Intermediate crude. Right there. It's the January contract. Breaking down a little bit in here as we speak. You can see that. It's in a weekly sell now there's 4 full weeks going on a 5th week. And then when we go over to the beta, let's see what the beta is trying to tell us on the crude market. Charlie Larry, CL, where are you? Not there, not there. Maybe it's further down. Let's see. Charlie Larry. We'll find it in a few seconds. There it is right there. There's the January contract. And there's the beta. It's 2 days in a sell. And it's been in a weekly sell for a good decent 10 weeks now. So pressure is on that product. You can see it's trying to dip here. It went into that sell on, I guess, let's see what that day is right there. That was the 24th. They're showing no trade on the 23rd, but they're showing a trade on the 24th. Interesting. And so that is the crude. Now, usually we go and look at Canadian. So let's just take a peek at the Canadian today. There's CAD. You can see when this is in a sell, usually oil finds a way to go up. So when we go over here like this, you see that it's been moving down overall. And oil itself, obviously, for the same time period, is not doing that. It's been, it's not going up in value, which is odd. The whole relationship between the Canadian and that has really drifted, so we can't really become that excited about it anymore. But also the situation with the government up there has really changed the complexion of the economy. So they're trying to find ways to, get back to norm, I guess, and I guess when elections come, we will see. We're seeing it. The libertarians, are getting control throughout Europe and South America now into, Argentina, and then the Dutch just put a libertarian conservative. The media likes to call them far right, but they're really just libertarians. They just want less government interference, freer markets for free people, just like the holiday we just celebrated. So that is part of the magic, I guess you could say. All right. Now from there, that's oil. Let's take a look at Brent. Let's put the Brent up on J4X. We have Brent on J4X. Brent. There it is, BZF. There's the Brent. You see Brent looks the same way as crude oil, West Texas Intermediate, pressing down, and it's been in that weekly sell for 10 full weeks also. And then when we see Brent here, we'll skip over the Canadian and go right to Brent and see what's going on there. There's Brent. You see the pressure on it. It's been moving down. Fast is at 54 and change, 54.4. The slow is at 68. It's a good, that's a pretty good 20% down. There's the pressure on it. Let's take a look at the weekly. There's the weekly on J4X. And you can see there it's at 22.4 versus 26. The weekly is trying to turn onto the upside, but it's been down. You can see that on a Hinky-Ashky wise, it's been down. Was that 3? That's 6 days. I'm sorry, 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And you can see right there. 3 weeks back, it was trading at 26 even. Is that right? And 18.73. And at the same time, this was trading at 22. So it was underneath in that sell. And then it's at 22.6. And it's moved to the 22.5. So it's tried to get into the buy the last couple of weeks. So that thing will turn green. All right. So from there, let's see. From there, we go over to natural gas. Let's take a look at natural gas. We'll put it up over here too at the same time. I saw an article today that they were talking about natural gas is coming in from one of the what's it? The FDR, Federation of Russian States, or something like that. FDS, something Turkestan, something like that. Natural gas is coming into Europe from the Russian state. You can see here the pressure on natural gas, pressing down, going into a sell again. On the weekly, on J4X, we have it in a sell for, let's see, for. Let's put it up over here too at the same time. I think over here we're like a second week. Oh no, we've been in a weekly sell over here for, what's that, 3? It's going on 4th week. We're in a sell, a weekly sell when it comes to nat gas on the deck contract, which we're getting. I guess it's time to move into the January contract. I guess we'll do that tomorrow. We'll start moving into the January contract. Let's just check this out. Let's just go like that. Natural gas. There we are. And take a look at right there. Yep. We'll be moving into that very soon. And you see that pressure there. Same situation. 4 weeks now in a sell, just like over here. And what else can be said? So you go like that. You see the fast algorithms down at 12 and change. And the slow is at 23, so pressure's still on the downside there. And then what we do is we look at an energy company in Spain to try to get a flavor. No wonder the thing jumped into the 27s. Look at this, 27.5 today. We've come, just in the last 2 weeks, we've come from, or I guess you could say, around 26.25 up to 27.5, $1.25 gain. You see it's going into the daily buy there. It's been in a weekly buy for 9 weeks. Is that 9? No, 8 weeks now. Yeah, 8 weeks in a daily buy, going on a 9th week now. So there's a lot of pressure for natural gas to, you would think because of the wintertime, to go up. But you see on the States here, we're only paying $2.73 a cubic yard or cubic foot or whatever cubic it is. So we're not exactly seeing the pressure really push this stuff out. So what else can we say about the energy sector? What can we say about the energy sector besides it doesn't seem to be intimidated by any currency and the cold weather is not really freaking it out too much. Not here in the States. Obviously, Europe, you can see it through this energy company here. Let's put that up here too. There's the, let's see, as Janos says, this is my favorite stock. Because it's the only stock I can use to spot what the value of natural gas is acting like in Europe. That's why it's my favorite stock. Indeed, in Europe right now. So, let's see. From there, you see the energy companies, and at the same time, you see it over there on the beta right there with all that pressure. I'm trying to push. Let's see, what is that? Is that right? Let's just double check that. Yeah, trying to push up. And it went into a sell for this stuff. That was interesting. So it was in a sell for right there for a little bit. Right there. But we're in that weekly buy. So you can't take the short. You can only just stand to the side or try not to be short. You know, that's what it comes down to. Well, you can't be short. You're in a weekly buy. So, all right. From there, that takes care of our energies and our metals. We can take a look at a peek at the stock indices, and you know, the stock indices seem to be sideways to up. Today they're trying to open down a little bit, nothing major. Let me think. What else can we say? Biden apologized to Muslim American leaders for questioning number of casualties in Gaza. I don't know. Poor Biden. He's so lost. He doesn't know if he's coming or going. It should be interesting. We're getting ready to go into... We're going to be seeing elections, I guess, going into less than 50 days now in the States here for president. So that's going to be fun. All right. Let's take a look at the stock indices. There is the S&P 500. And you can see the pressure on that. You don't see anything particular going on when it comes to any of that, too. You know, I mean, it does not seem to be letting go. That's for sure. Let's see. What else do we say about that? Been in a weekly buy for 4 full weeks, going on a 5th week. A little pressure here today. You saw the red-green on, what was that? That's possibly Friday, right? And then they did not make a trade on Thanksgiving, or Turkey Day, as we like to say around here. And you can see today it is trying to push into the sell a little bit right there. And is there anything else we can say about the way the stock indices are going? I guess we could take a look at the Tech 100. Oh, you can't see what we're looking at there, can you? There we go. There it is. So you see that? Just that little weakness now starting to develop after 4 weeks in a buy, going on a 5th week. Now let's go take a look at the Tech 100. There it is right there. Tech 100 pushed into a sell on Friday. Interesting. A little weak today, not much, just a little. And it's also 4 weeks in a weekly buy. So we have to wait for this to turn to want to short this thing. Let's see what the NQs look like here. I know we put them in. NQs. There it is right there. You can see the weekly's not letting go. This is on the beta. Orders filled, dismissed. Orders filled, dismissed. Okay. And so at this point, the Nasdaq is showing life. Let's see what the Dow looks like. The Dow 30. There it is. Oh, what do we got here? There's Robin. Another Chinese e-finance juggernaut is in financial trouble. Which one is this? I didn't see anything on that yet. I'll tell you, we were on fire when it came down to how can China be a large economy when they keep on defaulting on pennies on a dollar. You borrow $11 billion, you can't find $15 million. It wasn't like they were asking for like $1 billion back. They were asking for 15 million bucks. That's it. I mean, you have $11 billion. What did you do with it? That's the biggest question of all. How do you default on something like that? I mean, what are they doing with all these billions? All right. Building a second aircraft carrier, I guess. From there, you can see the Dow Jones Industrial Average doesn't look like it's trying to let go at all. It's been in that nice buy for weeks here. Let's see if we can find another green. I don't see a green. Where's the greens at? Let's take that red right there. Put that right there. And then we'll change the color of that. Right there. It's been in the buy for, what is that? 3, 6, 9. This is a 10th day in a buy. It's in a weekly buy. You see that right there. Down underneath. Been in a weekly buy for 4 full weeks. 5. You know, they're not letting go of it. Let's take a look at the, let's save that too. And then what we do is we go and we look at the NASDAQ, not the NASDAQ, the Russell 2000. Check out the Russell, see what they're up with that. Let's see. Oh, no, I wanted to save it, no, cancel. There we are. Let's just go save workspace. There we go. Now we could do this. We could save workspace as, and just say yes, save. There it is. There we go. And so there is, let's find the Russell right there. Russell tried the lift, but it's flatlined on us. A little strength there. We're in a weekly buy, going on a 3rd week now. We're starting off, but oh, there's Robin again. So Zhang Xing declared itself insolvent Wednesday with its, didn't even see that because of the holidays, with it appears estimated at nearly 66 billion, according to a letter to investors cited by local media. I wonder how much they owed. That's the bigger question. How much did they owe? You know, no, it's not the 66 billion. How much did they skip out on? That's the thing. That's the one that cracks me up. I'm going to go look that up right now. We're going to go hunt that down because, you know, it's probably something absurd like, I don't know, like $400 million. So someone gives you $66 billion and you can't find, you know, 300 million or 400 million. It's like, what are you doing with that money? That's the thing that really makes me go like, what are they doing? Why are they so incompetent? And then someone wants to tell me that China is like the 2nd largest economy in the world. It's like, cut me a break. Yeah, they have a fixed currency. If their currency was floating for all the defaults and everything that's going on, there's no way that anybody would even remotely be, they'd be trading it like at 30 or something like that, or 40. That would take their economy and shrink it down to something like the size of Peru. It'd be like, oh my God, you know, all those people and the government can't figure out how to function. How's that spelled? GZHI. There we are. There it is. And let's see what they, let's put that in Enterprise Group. Let's take a look at that, copy that, and let's put it into one of the news sites and see what they say about it. Paste. Because, you know, usually they really scream from the rooftop is when enterprises, look at it, they're not even saying anything about it. There's not even a story there. Let's try, when I did the Google, it didn't jump out at all. Not an article coming out. Well, there's a default right there. There you go. Chinese authorities move on asset manager after defaults. Let's see. It's a Chinese bank. Okay. Move on asset manager. So public security authorities have said Saturday that they have taken mandatory measures against the Chinese conglomerate on suspicion of illegal activity in its asset management business. Yeah, they lost it. And so what payment did they miss? This week, in a letter that the liabilities have exceeded the assets. Oh, that's even worse. 220 billion won to as much as 260 billion won, or 36 billion dollars, and they have. Robin says they have $66 billion. Okay. Yeah, just another reason to be careful. China is not. China is an angry American colony. It's our number one colony in the world. It's our only colony in the world. And they're angry at us all the time. And we spend $300 billion there a year, and net, because not gross. Gross, we spend over $500 billion a year there. $500 billion. So if they weren't being fed by us, they wouldn't exist. Founded in 1995, has businesses ranging from coal mining to finance, and a group member of International Trust has failed to make payments on some trust products to investors that included. It doesn't say where and who and why. Let's go back one. Let's see. It says included products, payments, trusted. They included. The Public Security Bureau called in investors, and okay, they're not giving us all the dirt. But again, it's still in the same disastrous shape as usual when it comes to the Chinese economy. The angry colony. Wouldn't it be nice if Europe got another $100 billion from us instead? And say England $50 billion, and like Nigeria $20 billion, and so forth and so on, instead of handing it to the Chinese, because they obviously don't know what to do with it. They keep on losing it. All right. What else can we say about any of this, traders? Is there anything else? Let's take a look at the Bitcoin, and then we'll get out of here. And let's see, where is Mr. and Mrs. Bitcoin? Right there. We watch now we follow the ETF right there. And there's the ETF. It's been in the weekly buy for a bunch of weeks. And you can see there it's flirting with, what else is it flirting with? It's flirting with going into a sell today? No, not really. It's just down for today. It's been holding up really nice. What should we name this webinar to? We've been following all the basics. I guess we could say is that the economy, the global economy is sideways. The Americans are buying things for the holidays. Just your classic end-of-year adventure. All right. We'll have to come up with a title here. What did we look at? Did anything jump out at us? Let's think. Not really. Let's see. I'll tell Turkish lira. Let's talk about that. Lira. Turkish lira. That's what we'll talk about. The Turkish lira. Put that in the headlines today because, there's not much more that can be said about that. We just keep on seeing, we just keep on seeing the currency close at all-time highs. Turkish lira at all-time highs. I think that's what we're going to call the title today. Turkish forex at all-time highs. Yeah, that seems to be the answer to the whole thing. All right, traders. We will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. This is Doc saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, traders.